Bettor Sports Betting is your home for picks, props, and futures for tonight's action. Bettor Sports Betting wants to know what picks you're playing tonight. Tell us in the live chat on YouTube, Twitter, and the Bettor Sports Network app. This is Bettor Sports Betting with Fantasy Alarm's Dan Servodidio.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome in here to the Bettor Sports Betting Show on Bettor Sports Network and Fantasy Alarm, YouTube, Twitter, the BSN app, wherever you guys are jumping in. Thanks for joining us on a Tuesday afternoon here. Got Jon Impemba back with me for this Tuesday show. What's up, man?
Not too much. We got some playoff baseball about to kick off in like a few minutes here, Dan.
Yeah. Well, let's jump right into it because, we're going to be talking some hockey opening night odds with Chris Murray coming up shortly here on the show. Talk some futures bets, bring in our producer, Adam Bernard, the Bettor Hockey Now team to give us some picks for tonight because we got to get some action on these opening hockey games. But we got playoff baseball starting up in about a few minutes here. I think first pitch is 4:07 Eastern for Astros-Twins. I'll also give out some picks for Orioles-Rangers too, but let's jump right into Astros-Twins. So make sure people get their bets in for this game, picks that we like. You can see the odds here. Series tied 1-1. Really good series so far. Pivotal game 3 here starting up. Any picks you like for this game?
Yeah, I went just a quick player prop here. Max Kepler over half an RBI. It's plus 140 over on DraftKings Sportsbook. Lefty hitters this year against Christian Javier have really done a lot of damage. He's got a 558 xFIP against left-handed bats, a 350 WOBA, 470 slug. So while he hasn't given up a lot of home runs this year, you look at the top of that lineup for the Twins here today, 3 straight lefties. Kepler's hitting third. Good opportunity for him to maybe get an early RBI opportunity here against Javier. So that's what I'm rolling with.
I like that. The lone RBI pick, not the hits, runs RBIs, just the plus
RBI,
money RBI. You can get that with a sack fly even.
Exactly, right?
All right. I'm going Sonny Gray here on the mound for Minnesota. We're both going some Twins picks. I'm going Sonny Gray over 14.5 outs, minus 135 over on DraftKings. He's been had a really good season overall, obviously, but really strong to end the year. 2 ERA in the month of September, 2.03 ERA in the final 2 months of the regular season. Carried it right over into the wild card start against the Blue Jays. 5 shutout innings in that one. And I really like this outs prop because 14.5. So we're banking on going 5+ innings. He threw at least 5 innings in 28 of his 31 regular season starts, taking out the final start of the year when it was kind of like a tune-up for the playoffs. But 28 of 31, he was going 5+ innings. And I think he's going to look for, a 5 or 6 inning outing again today. The Twins, Astros playing on back-to-back days. Today's the game 3, tomorrow's game 4. I think that kind of plays into Gray's favor of trying to go 5 or 6 innings because they want to save a lot of their top bullpen arms for tomorrow, especially some long relief guys in case tomorrow's game, which we don't know for sure whether it's Joe Ryan, Maeda, or Bailey Ober starting for the Twins. But either way, I feel like they're want to have as many arms available tomorrow for that game. So I'm looking for Gray to go over 14.5 outs here. I just think that, the way he's rolling right now, even if he lets up a couple runs, they're going to want to leave him in there for 5-6 innings at least.
Yeah, and if you're on DraftKings Sportsbook, again, I know everybody gets different offers, but I got a 25% bet boost today, so you could boost that up and probably get plus odds on the 14.5 or the 25%.
I did exactly that. It was the minus 135 is sometimes people don't want to bet that, but with the profit boost there, or throw it in, throw a Kepler RBI and Gray's outs prop together. Why not?
Yep.
Or one of these other picks that we're about to give out for the Rangers-Orioles game. So, you're on Kepler here. I'm on Gray. Any vibes about who might win this? Series tie 1-1. Twins stole a game in Houston.
Yeah.
They're favored slightly on the money line for this.
I mean, I really don't have a lean either way. I think, both offenses are kind of interesting. Obviously, I think top to bottom, the lineup in Houston is way stronger, but I've Gray's the better pitcher of the duo. So I really, honestly, I just don't have a lean here, truthfully.
Okay. I would lean Twins, if anything, and take them on the money line because Javier, like we all know, he's capable of some good outings. His underlying metrics, though, have kind of gone against him, and the Twins' offense has been rolling. So I think I would lean Twins, especially with the pitching matchup. If you want to look at Twins' first 5 innings, I'd probably lean that way too. But either way, I do like Sonny Gray to have a good outing here. All right, let's look at the Rangers-Orioles game, because the Rangers come in up 2-0 in the series. They won both the first 2 in Baltimore. Huge advantage in this series now. Tonight, though, that game's starting up at about 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. We got Dean Kramer on the mound for the Orioles against Nathan Eovaldi for Texas. I think we both got a lot of picks in this game, so let's just jump right into it. Give us a pick for Orioles Rangers.
Yeah, first one I'm going to run with is Seager over half an RBI again today here as well. You're getting that on the money line at plus 130. Lefty bats against Dean Kramer this year. 349 WOBA, 467 slugging percentage. He's got a 485 xFIP, a 540 FIP against 1.8 homers per 9. I mean, a lot of offensive numbers are in favor here of the lefty bat. So getting Corey Seager with the half an RBI for plus money today felt like a good bet.
Yeah, I like that one. I looked at his hits, runs, RBIs too in this game, but he's also, they're walking him a lot. He's drawing a lot of walks. They're definitely scared off of his ability. So, but I think, getting an RBI if guys are in front, on base in front of him too. And fading Dean Kramer is something I'm looking to do. And backing Nathan Eovaldi, I think we're both looking to do. Yeah. And I'll just jump right into it, because we both have multiple picks on Eovaldi here.
We like the Rangers.
Yeah, we like the Rangers. I'll start out with Eovaldi's strikeouts over 4.5, plus 110 over on BetMGM. I was, a week ago, I would have faded him against the Rays in that first start. He did not look great to end the season since his injury, but in that start against the Rays, he tossed 6 2/3 innings of a 1-run ball, 8 strikeouts in that one, no walks. His velocity back up now since coming back from injury. It's now back up to 95 miles per hour, his fastball, which is what he was throwing earlier in the season when he was really good for the Rangers and looking like a Cy Young candidate. So it's nice to see his velocity back up, which gives me a lot more confidence in backing him here. The Orioles, 27% strikeout rate against right-handed pitching over the past month of games throughout September and now into the playoffs. The O's have faced 2 lefty starters in the first 2 games here against Texas, Montgomery and Heaney. And I think flipping to now facing the righty Eovaldi is going to be a tough spot for them. Could be trouble. And I like how, the Rangers up 2-0. I think they can afford to let Eovaldi, go a little bit deeper into this game, even if he allows a couple runs early. So I like backing his strikeouts here. 4.5 is the number. And he had 5+ strikeouts in 15 of 19 starts before his injury. So a really good track record there. After he returned from injury, which was, the last month or so of the season, once his pitch count got ramped up, he went for 5+ strikeouts in both of his final 2 regular season games. Yeah. And then I mentioned that 8 strikeout outing in the wild card round against the Rays. So I like his form right now. He's rolling. So give me his over 4.5 strikeouts.
Yeah, he's also a fairly dominant postseason pitcher over the course of his career.
Great track record.
2.9 ERA, about a strikeout per inning, a sub-1 whip. So guy's an absolute horse on the mound when it comes to these postseason appearances. So I'm in on that play because I'm in on a bunch of Eovaldi props here as well. If you want to go the 14.5 outs, they got that juice. It's actually up to minus 170 now. But again, if you want to throw the boost on that one, you can get it down to like minus 130 and help you out a little bit there. You can even parlay it with, again, maybe the Sonny Gray one. I guess that one kicked off. You can live bet the Sonny Gray outs with Eovaldi here if you wanted to. So again, I'm a big fan on that one. Then I also like him to get the win, plus 210 today. Again, I think Rangers get this one. I think Eovaldi pitches deep enough into this game, and you're getting plus 210 odds on him getting the W today. So love that for him. So that's
I like that. Not just going with the Rangers money line, just taking a step further with Eovaldi to get the win.
It worked when we first did the show last Tuesday. Remember, we both took the starting pitchers and the get the wins with Lopez and Wheeler both came through with plus odds for us then. So willing to run right back here.
Yeah, and the odds are probably longer because it's like, postseason kind of vibes of managers maybe pulling starters
Yeah.
earlier than they would
But
to
14 and a
even.
half outs is crazy.
Yeah, that's low. And like I was saying, I think, being up 2-0 in the series for the Rangers, they can afford to let him go. Even if he's given up a couple runs. I think with the same situation as Twins Astros, these guys play again tomorrow. So I feel like they're going to save as many bullpen arms for tomorrow's game if possible. So yeah, I think we're looking at a longer start for Eovaldi. So you like his outs and to get the win. I like the strikeouts. I'll throw out another prop here over on BetMGM. You can bet on who will have more strikeouts, and I like Eovaldi to have more strikeouts than Dean Kramer, -135 on BetMGM. I kind of broke down the Eovaldi strikeouts there, but for Dean Kramer's side of things, I don't see him pitching too deep into this game because the Orioles are in must-win mode, and if Kramer gets into any trouble early, second, third inning, he could be pulled. And they need to they need to limit as much damage as possible. And the Rangers offense, they exploded early in the game on Sunday, 4 runs, I think, in the second, 5 more in the third. So if that situation comes to fruition here, I don't think Kramer is going to go too deep. Rangers, have about a league average strikeout rate against righties anyway in the month of September. Also have hit righties well too, dating back, the whole season, but especially over the past month. And Kramer, he had a shaky end of the regular season, allowed 5 and 6 runs in 2 of those 4 starts to end the regular season. It's possible he's not going deep into this. His outs prop, by the way, I don't know if you noticed this, it's at 10.5 on DraftKings. Which I might even take the under on that because I don't think he lasts too deep into this. So if I can get Eovaldi to have more strikeouts than Kramer, I'm going with that. And then kind of adding on to all this, give me the Rangers in the first 5 innings too. On the run line, -105 on DraftKings. I just think Eovaldi is going to come out strong here against an Orioles offense that until that last game, they've kind of struggled against right-handed pitching for the past month plus. And the Rangers, I think, are going to give enough run support. I think they're going to get to Kramer here. So yeah, give me the first 5 innings. A little scared of the Rangers bullpen to completely back their money line, but I don't blame you for doing that either.
Yeah, no, again, I think it's a good spot for them. Again, well, Baltimore's obviously put together a nice season. It just feels like it's a time where they're just going to run up against too dominant of a pitcher in this spot here.
We got a Ghost 43 chiming in on YouTube. As an Orioles fan, my feelings. We're sorry for fading the Baltimore Orioles here, but it's just,
Be encouraged of things to come for you guys, right? You got a very young core, super talented team here, but I just think you're going to run up against a playoff workhorse here tonight, and not a good spot for them.
Well, listen, on I think it was Thursday's show with James Grande, we kind of broke down some of these divisional matchups, and we were both leaning Texas. And I brought up the point that I just felt like as good as the Orioles were in the regular season, as strong as of an offense they were, I just felt the whole year that they were maybe 1 year ahead of schedule. I feel like with so many young pieces, especially on the offensive side, but you see their pitching kind of letting them down in the playoffs here so far. I just always felt like they were 1 year ahead. So next year, I think the Orioles are going to very much be in contention again, and aren't going to slow down from what they did this year. But the first taste of postseason experience on the Rangers side of the things, Eovaldi obviously, but like their offense, they have numerous guys that have been here before, whether it's with other teams or with Texas. But just a tough spot for the Orioles to run into this. We got M. Rojas saying he likes the over in this Baltimore-Texas game, over 9 runs. I think the Texas offense will surely power that. I think we're both kind of leaning on Eovaldi limiting things, though, for the Orioles. So, I mean, I might look at the Texas team total rather than take the over in this game because I do think Kramer is going to have some issues here.
Yeah, I mean, the over is sitting at -115 versus -105 in the under. So, a little bit juice towards that. But yeah, again, if Evaldi goes out there and pitches like he has during the course of his career, it's going to have to be pretty heavily carried by the Rangers. So.
Yeah. So yeah, those are some bets for these games. We got Astros-Twins already started up, so hopefully you got some of those picks in, and Baltimore, Texas tonight. So it should be a fun watch for those. Let's now, before we talk some hockey, just got to remind you guys to get the Fantasy Alarm All-Pro subscription, unlock all content for all sports, including our annual draft guides. That includes fantasy hockey draft guide that's out, draft kit that's out, rankings and sleepers, busts, all that stuff is all out there on Fantasy Alarm right now. You can get all this with the All-Pro subscription. You also get one-on-one expert access in the Discord chat. If you're in there right now, you can get some help on some bets and some DFS lineups for hockey, League Sync, and the lineup generator, all at Fantasy Alarm, plus daily and weekly rankings. Waiver wire analysis is up right now for fantasy football, projections for daily and season long. Plenty more to help you guys build better lineups, guaranteed. You get access to everything Fantasy Alarm offers all year. Go to fantasyalarm.com/win. Scan that QR code right on the screen there to jump on the All-Pro subscription. I got college football Tuesday night games. We got tonight. I got a college football DFS playbook out there for tonight's slate if you want to build some CFB DFS lineups. All right, let's talk hockey, because I mentioned we got Josh Wagner's got a best bets article for some hockey games tonight with the season starting up, and I got to bring on Chris Murray, one of our Fantasy Alarm hockey guys, to talk some hockey. He's also part of the Better Hockey Now shows that you've seen here on Bettor Sports Network. What's up, Chris? How you doing, man? You excited for the first night of the NHL being back, man?
I'm super stoked, gentlemen. I've been waiting for this now. I feel like it's Christmas. I woke up today under the tree. There's some NHL games that mean something. I'm just excited. This is a great time right now. October is the best.
I'm pumped that we don't have to wait too long either. We got a game kicking off at 5:30 Eastern time here today.
I know.
I'm so happy the NHL has finally planned one game that you can watch for those of us that just wanted to gem the entire night and watch 3 games and just completely exclude all our loved ones in our life for a few hours.
Yeah, and it was smart for them to do it on a Tuesday night and not be overshadowed by any Monday Night Football going on. So, yeah, we got 3 games tonight. We'll talk some futures and stuff with you in just a little bit, but wanted to get any bets or picks you got for these games. First one we got is, you mentioned, as John mentioned, starting up at or a little after 5 Eastern, the Predators against the Lightning. Any leans or picks for this game you got going? You can see the odds we got here. The Lightning are favored on the money line there. Over-unders at 6.5. Any picks you got for this? Props or bets or anything?
I do. I got one prop and I got one straight out as well. The Tampa Bay Lightning opened at a minus 235 favorite. They are all the way down now to 160. I don't remember Nashville acquiring a high-scoring, talented player in the offseason, unless you think that name is Ryan O'Reilly. Look, we know that Andrei Vasilevsky is there. There is a correction to it. I think the market is starting to just downplay how bad the Tampa Bay Lightning are. They're not that bad of a hockey team. I don't know if I take the straight up money line. Here's what I can say. In regulation, they're even money. So I think Tampa Bay has more than enough skill up front. Steven Stamkos still exists. Nikita Kucherov still exists. Braden Point's coming off a career year. Mikhail Sergachev is there. Victor Hedman. I think there's more than enough skill on that team to make up for whatever Jonas Johansson's going to do there. He's going to let in a soft one at some point, but outside of Roman Josi, Philip Forsberg, I mean, that lineup is pretty mid, so I'm not too worried about it. I would take them straight up in regulation on night one. I think if this comes down to a shooting spree, yes, UC Saros is good, but the one thing he can't do is score a goal. On the flip side, I have Roman Josi on the over on his shot props at 3.5. I don't know how well Nashville is going to play, but I know Roman Josi is going to play really well. So I know he's going to be out there a lot. He's going to command a ton of minutes. They went out and they got some players. Tyson Berry's not great defensively. They didn't bring him in there to play great defense. Ryan McDonough's getting up there in age. So Roman Josi's still probably going to command about 25, 26 minutes. He's going to be out there in all situations. Power play, penalty kill, 5-on-5. It's only a matter of time, I think, for me until he hits 5 shots. It might take him the whole game to get there, but he's going to be out there. He's going to be shooting the puck. They're going to want to test, right? A goalie that is, barely played last season, who's now getting thrown into this number 1 starting spot. So I think it would be smart for Nashville to come out and fire the puck. I think Roman Josi is going to lead the way.
How do you see the Hedman-Sergachev defensive breakdown working in Tampa Bay this year?
I'm all in on Sergachev. I think he is the better defenseman at this point, and we saw it at times where John Cooper was, more willing to have Sergachev on that top power play unit, and that unit can definitely operate. Sergachev can shoot the puck. It's not elite, but he can get the pucks in the net, but he can block shots as well. So if you're in leagues where block shots matter, if you're playing on DraftKings where you need the block shot bonus, Mikhail Sergachev is going to get their opportunities. Victor Hedman's numbers have kind of flailed a little bit. They're not elite. I don't think he is. I think he's an elite defenseman per se for his position in real life, but I think for fantasy, he's being overlooked here a little bit, and I think it's merit. I like Mikhail Sergachev. That's the upside I have.
All right, how about the second game on the schedule tonight? The Blackhawks at the Penguins. The Penguins are big favorites here on the money line, minus 250. We do have Connor Bedard, right, debuting for the Blackhawks. So I'm sure people might want to get some props in for him, but any bets or picks you got for this game?
I do have the over in this game. Chicago is a very bad hockey team, so they are going to give up goals. I have zero faith in Peter Mrazek being able to stop the puck. The Pittsburgh Penguins are good. They're going to want to have a little bit of fun with their new toy that they got in the offseason, Erik Karlsson. So they have more than enough skill. Jake Gensel, magically healed. He seems ready to go. Some people thought he wasn't going to be able to start the season. So the Penguins just have everybody healthy, which is something that they don't do very often. And I think they're just going to take it to the Chicago Blackhawks in every single way. We know where Chicago's finishing. We know Connor Bedard is great. And I am excited to just sit down with my popcorn and watch him toe drag release and just fire these wicked laser shots at the net. I don't know. I don't have any props for him. His shot total's at 2.5 and it's minus 180. It's just too much juice for me. I do have, though, Taylor Hall, because I think the one person who's going to benefit the most from having Connor Bedard played in the middle is Taylor Hall. So I have his over 2.5 shots. They're going to play together on the power play. They're going to play together 5-on-5. I'm not too worried about Ryan Donato, who somehow found his way on the top line again somewhere. So yeah, I'm not worried about him stealing anything. He's found his way as well. Top line, top power play. Someone's got to be there. So that just speaks to the depth of that Chicago team. There's none. I think Bedard and Hall can have a little bit of chemistry going. Bedard is an elite passer. As great as his shot is, this kid's vision is next level. So all Taylor Hall's got to do is be at the right spot at the right time. Taylor Hall once upon a time was a first overall pick. So I think those two can kind of figure each other out. They're going to get some goals. So that's why I like the over here. I'm not trusting Tristan Jarry right out of the gate. It's preseason exists, sure, but there's still some rust for goalies and team chemistry. So I have the over there and over 2.5 shots for Taylor Hall.
I threw Donato as a one-off punt play in DFS in hopes that the puck just tips his stick.
We all did.
On its way to Bedard scoring a goal,
We all did. He's $3,100 is basically the free square. If you get nothing out of it.
Line, so yeah.
There you go.
All right, how about the nightcap, late night puck drop for this one? Seattle Kraken at the Vegas Golden Knights, the defending champs. Minus 165 on the money line for Vegas. Over-under is right at 6. What do you got for this one?
I had a hard time looking at this game because I don't know if the Seattle Kraken are actually a good team or if they're frauds. This was a team that was like top 5 in like goals, top 5 in shooting. They looked really good at all times. And you look at their lineup and you're like, how is this possible? The defending Stanley Cup champions are coming in. They're from Vegas. I don't know how long the hangover lasts for them. It was definitely tough here. I did think about the puck line. If that's the lean where I'm going to go, I think the money line is just a little bit too high. I think the puck line can get it done. Vegas is strong here. Aiden Hill's confirmed to get the start. I think he's in a great spot. We know how good Vegas is defensively. Seattle, again, they prove that they can keep up, right? They demonstrated that. I still don't know if they're frauds. So I want to kind of tiptoe into this game as well. There's so much value elsewhere that I don't feel like I have to absolutely pound this one in. I do have some exposure to Ivan Barbashev in my DFS lineups because he's up there. He's playing on the top line. We know that he likes to go to the net, get dirty. do everything that he needs to do. So that's where I would be rolling at that point. I have a small lean for the puck line, but I'm not as heavy on that game as I am, let's say, the other two.
Do we got a lean on goaltending for Vegas this year?
Look, the first one to stay healthy can kind of take over that job, right? I have exposure to Logan Thompson in season long. I also have exposure to Aiden Hill. I have both of them on the same team because that's how confused I am. So like Vegas is a good team, and I think that whoever starts there is going to benefit from having an elite defense core in front of them. The injury to Alex Martinez obviously does hurt because he can block 200 shots a year, but the team is still good. I think it's Logan Thompson's job, right? There's nothing that, it's not his fault, right? He got hurt, and then Aiden Hill just kind of ran with it. I don't know if Aiden Hill is going to be able to hold up for an entire starting goalie work start, so like 55, 60 games. I don't think Vegas wants to go there either. I think it's going to be a traditional split until one of those two runs away with it, but my slight edge is on Logan Thompson. He's not getting to start tonight. They're going to give it to Aiden Hill, which I'm perfectly happy with because he's perfectly capable of doing the job, but I think in the long run this is Logan Thompson's job.
I want to bring in your pal, Adam Bernard. He's our producer on the show here. He's one of your co-hosts on the Better Hockey Now show. And I know he's tuned into hockey. He's got his jersey on there. Adam, here's your time to rebuttal or agree with anything that Chris just said about all these three games tonight. Anything you wanted to throw out there?
So I don't really have a lean on Nashville, Tampa, although I agree with the way Chris assessed it. Completely agree on the over with Chicago, Pittsburgh. That game later in the season, if it's all the same, that will be a 7 or 7.5 total. To get the over on it at 6.5 while it's still early in the season. For Seattle, Vegas, sometimes when teams have, I completely agree that I don't know if Seattle's a fraud or not, but they were good enough to make it to the second round of the playoffs last year. They did play Vegas tough in their head-to-heads, and the teams are very similar. And you have to sit around and wait for that championship banner. And let's face it, Vegas is going to do it to a level that we probably have never seen before on opening night with a banner and the presentation, just because their average regular season game pregame ceremony is way more over the top than any other team. Seattle's got to wait that out. They get a little antsy, they're a little pissed. They want to, ruin the party. I could see a money line bet there. The puck line, I would love to take the Seattle puck line, but it's too juiced. So if I would lean towards money line, I would maybe even put a little on that. But Vegas could also come out strong, and the way they finished the season last year.
All right. All right. So you guys have a number of broadcasts and shows that you guys did, the Better Hockey Now shows over on Bettor Sports Network and Fantasy Alarm YouTube. So definitely everyone go check out those. You guys did a FSGA fantasy hockey draft I saw last night. So, 2-hour broadcast that you guys were drafting teams. Definitely check those out. But you guys did a futures show that I watched a bit of, and I want to get both of you guys' takes on these. Let's talk overall champ this year. Obviously, Vegas, the defending champs this year. They are not the favorites, the betting favorites coming into the year, though. That would be, as you see here, the Colorado Avalanche and the Carolina Hurricanes, both at the top there. Are you guys going with them as your top picks to win here? Any long shot bets that you like for these futures odds? I'll start with you, Chris.
I'm going to go with the Dallas Stars. I think my heart still is there. They are one of the most, to me, I feel like offensively, they are very complete. If Tyler Seguin and, Jamie Benn can stay healthy, Joe Pavelski is still him. And then you got Rupe Hintz, he's hurt already, but I'm assuming at some point he will be healthy. And then, Jason Robertson is elite. Miro Heiskanen is there. I think he can take another step, and we know what we're getting out of Jake Ottinger. So I think that team as a whole can go on and win that Stanley Cup. If they, obviously at some point they'd have to get through Colorado, and that will be the match. They can use the entire season to try to figure out how they're going to do that, because the Avalanche are a really good hockey team. Their defense is top notch. They've added some forwards again. Their goaltending is good, but I think the value on 13-1 on Dallas is very, very good, because there's some teams in front of them that I don't understand how that value is there, specifically the Toronto Maple Leafs. having crossed the first round one time in 20 years. So I don't know how they get shorter odds. New Jersey is not getting Connor Hellebuck. I thought that would have, materialized at some point. Connor has decided to stay in Winnipeg. So the Devils still need a goalie. So to me, it's Dallas. That's where I'm laying my money.
Adam?
I agree. For the best balance of maybe better, a 13-1 with a team that's got a legitimate chance, Dallas is a great way to go, and I agree. I think it's Carolina's year. I know, it's borderline chalk at plus 900, second, highest favorite, but I do think it's Carolina's year this year. They ran into a Sergei Bobrovsky that could have stopped a bullet at any point in that series. He was that good. So I don't think Carolina lost to them because they played poorly. They just ran into a super hot goalie. So I think they're going to have a little bit of a tougher road with New Jersey being better and Pittsburgh being better. But, Carolina is probably my pick. You want a long shot, Pittsburgh at 2,200 because they're clearly going for one more cup in the Crosby era with bringing in Carlson and the moves they've made, Riley Smith. So as a long shot, I don't think they're a division champ, but as a conference champ or a Stanley Cup champ, absolutely.
It's interesting to see, I'm looking over on DraftKings, and the Hurricanes are at plus 800, and they are the betting favorite there. And the Stars, even longer odds, plus 1,400 to win the Stanley Cup. So interesting. You want to shop around at different books there. If you guys looking at conference winners for the East and the West, Chris, I'll start with you. If you weren't going to go with the Stars, or actually, I'll ask you about the East because you took kind of. I assume you're back in the Stars in the West, but how about for the East? If any teams that you like based on these odds here via FanDuel.
To win the conference, I think I would go with the New Jersey Devils, right? That offense is there's too many riches, and it's kind of unfair that they have all ended up, in Jersey. There's, just looking at that team, they brought in Tyler Toffoli. That makes them even better. He had 70 points on a terrible Calgary team. What Jack Hughes can do, what Nico Hischier can do, a full year of Timo Meier, Dougie Hamilton is there, whatever the step Luke Hughes takes. I was really betting on Connor Hellebuck ending up there because then that would have, just further pushed their odds into being able to secure the Eastern Conference. They were really good against, the New York Rangers in their playoff series last year. And, they demonstrated why, they deserved to be there. I think they just had a really tough first round matchup, and it was unfortunate to see those two teams have to battle it out in the first round. But this Devils team is still really good. They're poised to be even better. So if I had to pick one team, it would be between them and, like I said, Carolina. Carolina, I guess they don't have as much depth. I think defensively they're about even. Goaltending, we'll see. But for me, it's the New Jersey Devils. That's where I would lay my money.
All right, and then Adam, you threw out the Hurricanes over in the Eastern Conference, possibly could win it all. How about in the Western Conference? Which teams do you like to win that conference?
So out west, you could go, Colorado at plus 400 at chalk, Vegas to get back there at plus 600. We talked about the Stars at plus 650. I really, the Kings to win the division, to steal a division, I would look at. I don't know if they're ready to win a conference yet, and there's nobody below the Kings that I would even put in that conversation. So if you're looking for a Western Conference champion, it's going to be one of those top four teams right there. Edmonton with their goaltending, I don't love it. Maybe it breaks through this year, but between those four, Dallas is the way I would go. If not Dallas, probably Vegas to get back there.
All right. All right, Chris, I need a deep dive here. If there was going to be a Cinderella story in either conference to win either the conference, win a division, win the title, which team that we haven't even discussed at all yet? Any team you got your eyes on that could surprise this year?
The one team that I am banking that I think maybe could do something, it is definitely a long shot, but I think the Buffalo Sabres are in a position where they could become a team that becomes very dangerous. Offensively, they are good. This team with Tage Thompson is right there. Jeff Skinner seems to be enjoying playing hockey. Alex Tuck is there. Rasmus Dahlin just secured the bag for him. Owen Powers is still growing in. And of course, my love for Devin Levi continues to blossom. It is definitely hard to be a rookie. It is extremely hard to be a rookie goalie in the NHL. But I think the Buffalo Sabres, if they are in a position to go for it. This is a team that missed the playoffs by 1 point last year. They were 1 point out, and they did that with a 41-year-old Craig Anderson. So it's a lot to ask of Devin Levi to be good. I think he can hold his ground. I think he probably starts about 60% of the games, and I think he's going to be just fine. There's a lot of talk, like we don't know what's going to happen with Patrick Kane. I know he's from the Buffalo area. That would be a kind of nice Cinderella story. So adding Patrick Kane for his offensive abilities, not his defensive abilities, that's for sure. Definitely makes their team better. And then if they're close, they're going to go into the deadline with some money. You add those 4, 5, and 6 defensemen that you need, those stay-at-home guys, you know, the Luke Shans of the world that come in and they just play defense and they help solidify the blue line. I don't know how far of a run they can go because there are just a lot, especially in the East, there are a lot of good teams. But if there's one team that I think is poised to take that step that can do it and they have the pieces in place, that's the team that I would go with. It's not, I don't trust the Yzerman plan just yet. I mean, he just seems to be collecting players. I don't know about Ottawa. We keep talking about them and that they keep just disappointing. So I'm not quite sure if I want to back them just yet. Tampa Bay, obviously, the goaltending situation. The Florida Panthers, let's see what Sergei Bobrovsky shows up. I can't take any more flack about my take on the Boston Bruins, so we're just not going to go there. And the Toronto Maple Leafs, they are the favorite to win that division. I think that's fair, but I mean, they're one injury away on the blue line or in goal from being a disaster. So I don't know how they make the money work there if something were to go wrong.
Adam, you agree with the Buffalo pick? I saw you agreeing there.
I love Buffalo as a dark horse. I don't think they get there this year, but related to that, now the Rookie of the Year, the Calder Trophy, I mean, it's pretty much Connor Bedard's to lose at this point, but if you wanted to place money on somebody to win it that's not him, in case, you know, maybe Bedard gets hurt and misses a significant amount of time and is out of the running, is Sabres goalie Devon Levi, because if it's not going to be Bedard and Levi's playing that well, people love to vote for a goalie. They don't win Rookie of the Year very often. If it's not going to be the guy that they're predicting to be on the next McDavid level, they're going to take the hot rookie goalie. So that's a way to go at plus 1,200 last time I checked.
All right. We'll wrap with this with you guys. Overall, any storyline, any player, any team that you were just most looking forward to this season for the entire year, whether it's betting, fantasy, DFS, anything. Chris, what's your pick?
Yeah, I guess I'll go there. John's here. I have the Buffalo the Boston Bruins to miss the playoffs. I've taken a lot of flack for this, and my dad even texted me. He texted me this morning. My dad sent me a text message saying that I was enraging Bruin fan. So I felt like it would be a good idea to just really walk into the fire here. This team had an historical year. They were historically great. They set every single number offensively and defensively. I mean, Linus Ullmark was just out of it. He just out of this world completely. And now it's all going to come crashing down back to reality, on planet Earth here where they can all hang out together with the rest of us. Losing Patrice Bergeron, I don't think Bruin fans appreciate him just yet enough until they realize that, you can lose a faceoff as a centerman in the offense or defensive zone in a critical time, because when you had Patrice Bergeron, you never had to worry about that, right? He was clutch. The man was just the definition of winning the Selke. It's kind of fun that the only way you were going to beat him is if he retired. The Bruins did very little to go out and address afterwards any type of scoring. James Van Riemsdyk is on a top line, and it's not 2015, so that's kind of a different year. Pavel Zacha's down the middle. Charlie Coyle's down the middle. Their defense, I was told they have a top 2 pairing, like their pairing is top 3 in the league, and I'm assuming they're talking about Charlie McAvoy and whatever ghost is with him. So I just don't see how this team is going to beat out some of the other teams that we just mentioned here, right? Like Detroit has something to prove, right? The Yzerman plan's got to start working. Like there's heads that might start rolling in Ottawa. We talked about the Buffalo Sabres being good, right? I mean, there are so many teams in the Atlantic by themselves that I think can overtake the Bruins that I don't know how they're finishing at the top and anywhere. I understand it is a large drop because in order for you to miss the playoffs, you got, even if you're at 90 points, you're outside of a playoff spot. So you're talking about a 40-point swing. And I get people, kind of want to strap me to my chair and make sure I'm okay.
Chris. It's the goaltending.
It's the goaltending. You're 100% right. And as a Carey Price lover for the last, I don't know, however long he has existed, your goaltending cannot score goals. Carey Price, fun fact, is the
Well,
only goal.
I
mean, they
score
can.
50, you know.
He can score goals. Carey Price has done everything. First ballot Hall of Famer. He has played with one 80-point player in his career, and he has no Stanley Cup ring to his name. So you can be elite as much as you want in the goaltending position. I think their defense is just fine, but you got to find a way to score goals, and it's got to come from somebody not named David Pastrnak. And I don't know that. Like, I'm looking up and down that lineup, and I mean, I see
Marchand's going to score. DeBrusque will score, but you're not going to have. You know, they weren't built on
double hip surgery.
They weren't
1 year
built
removed.
on elite goal scoring last year. They were built on one elite goal scorer and the back end of the team, and that's what
I have already cashed my bet on the Bruins missing the playoffs.
Listen, I don't think the Bruins are going to be very good either, but I'm just saying I don't think that they don't have scoring. I think they'll be, but the reason people like them is because they believe in the goaltending duo and Lindholm and McAvoy on the back end there.
So they basically have a cheap version of the Minnesota Wild, which which is exactly that, right? You got good goaltending, you're built from the back end, and then you figure out who's scoring goals. But I mean, you got Pavel Zacha and Charlie Coyle down the middle, and just that is probably the 1, 2, 3 center. That's got to be the worst center core right now in hockey. So I don't know how they're getting there.
Listen, with no horse in the race, this is very entertaining to watch. Chris just tilt every Bruins fan right now.
I did. I closed the DMs already. So, because like I said, the only way you can reach me is if you reach out to my dad, and then he reaches out to me for it. So,
yeah, I'm looking at DraftKings, and you mentioned those odds, plus 235 odds for the Bruins not to make the playoffs, minus 300 for them to make the playoffs. So,
I'll eat my words if I'm wrong. I promise.
All right, we'll bring you back on to eat at the end of the season, or boast and brag, you know. All right, Adam. Any storyline, bet, or player that you're just most excited for?
Just a couple of quick ones in the East. As much as it pains me to admit this, wearing a Ranger jersey, the Devils' top 6 could be right up there with Toronto's and Edmonton's this year. On paper, they certainly are close to it, and if they can achieve that, they're going to be a very fun team to watch, and it's going to suck to watch them be so good. And out west, just 2 quickies in the Pacific. When I mentioned the Kings earlier, I think coming down the stretch for that Pacific Division, it's going to be Edmonton, Vegas, LA, jockeying point by point, scoreboard watching every night. So I do like the Kings to maybe steal that division, although I don't think they're ready to come out of the conference. The other one, Calgary Flames. Now, I don't think they'll win the division, but with Daryl Sutter gone, that is an addition by subtraction situation for the head coach. He's not it's typical situation where his coaching style doesn't really fly anymore. Calgary underachieved last year because of that. I'm curious to see just how much better they'll be playing looser, freer, and a style of hockey that's more what the roster is made to do, we'll say. So we'll see. I'm excited to see how much they can bounce back. So keep an eye on them.
Also a fun one, if you care, just quickly, whatever book offers it, over 1.5 on Tom Wilson suspensions. Doesn't matter where it is. Just take the over there. It's not a question of if it hits. It's a question of when it hits. Is it early in the year? Is it later?
There it is right there.
That's it. Take the mortgage. Do whatever you want with the money afterwards. 1.5 on Tom Wilson. It doesn't even have to be 0.5. 1.5, you can get it.
The only way that does not cash is if he gets hurt in October and is out for the season. That is the only way that doesn't cash.
And he probably got suspended. So
that's just a yearly bet at this point, right? So
evergreen.
Awesome stuff. Love all the hockey talk. Again, Adam and Chris are both on the Better Hockey Now broadcasts and shows that are on Bettor Sports Network and Fantasy Alarm YouTube. So definitely check those out for some more futures talk or fantasy hockey talk. You can follow Adam at Pucking Thoughts on Twitter and Chris at FuzzyChris91 on Twitter. Plenty more hockey takes over there from those guys. Chris, awesome stuff, man. Thanks for coming on. We'll definitely bring you on again to talk some hockey throughout the season on some of these off days when we're not talking football or baseball.
Absolutely. I'll go update my insurance policy now, so just to make sure I'm here. So.
Yeah, get away before John comes across the desk to tackle you.
You had a really great draft, though, John. I was in the FSGA. There took a lot of players.
Right?
You did. Took a lot of players that I was looking at. I did say your name a couple of times. I was not happy, so you did well there.
Yeah, I wasn't cheating. I was doing it myself, you know?
That's even better to hear. I'm happy.
Awesome. We'll look for your stuff over at Fantasy Alarm too for DFS content and bets and all that stuff. So thanks, Chris, man. Enjoy the games tonight.
I will. Thanks for having me, gentlemen.
All right, that's about us. About it for us. We got the Astros up 4-0 on the Twins, by the way. While we were talking hockey, so
well, that offense, Jose Abreu.
Yeah, we had a Jose Abreu, a 3-run home run in the first inning. So hopefully my Sonny Gray
he settled down, the next inning over.
He
So,
did. He could still get through 5 innings. We'll see.
By the way, I just want to say we got a double by Kepler, but Polanco was on first and didn't score. So,
oh no,
so close.
Were you watching? Did you see did he just get it held up, or he just?
No, I didn't watch. I'm just reading the box score. Polanco walks, Kepler doubles, Polanco to third. So
he could have cashed that in the first.
Could have cashed that right away.
Man, all right. Well, I mean that bodes well just for his. He's feeling it at the plate, Kepler. Yeah. So
it's gonna be a good day for Christian Javier. We were so close.
And again, we gave out some bets for the Rangers-Orioles game, so definitely rewind and check out some of those picks. Awesome hockey talk with Chris and Adam. Coming up after us here on Bettor Sports Network and Fantasy on YouTube's, we got the Tour Junkie Show with David Barnett and Pat Perry at 7 p.m. Eastern, so definitely stay tuned for that. And again, go over to Fantasy Alarm right now to get more bets for tonight's hockey game from Josh Wagner. Get that All-Pro subscription as well to get DFS plays too for tonight, and fantasy football, waiver wire picks and all that stuff for all these this week's games. We'll be back tomorrow. Me and Howard Bender will be giving some early leans on the Week 6 football games, talking some more baseball picks, 2 more NLDS games tomorrow. So we'll definitely give out some bets for those. John, been real. Appreciate jumping on here on a Tuesday, and hopefully, Eovaldi's got to anchor us tonight to feel good.
I just replaced the bet on the outs here, so we're rewriting it. We're
doubling down. All right, all right. Appreciate everyone jumping in here. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and good luck with all your own bets. Later.
Bettor Sports Betting on the Bettor Sports Network.